Hey there, welcome to another Curtis Stage video tutorial. Today's tutorial is in Photoshop and Illustrator, and we're going to do a branding exercise making color swatches. So before we get into Photoshop and Illustrator, I just want to kind of talk to you about what color swatches are. So as part of any branding campaign, any branding package, you as a designer would include the color swatches for that company. So I just picked kind of a random company on Behance, kind of a cool restaurant, and their company's clearly blue and orange are their main colors. Of course, you know, they use white maybe and even black, but blue and orange are their main colors. So the artist has to include those color swatches in their packaging, so that in their design package, so that when they hand this project off, let's say to a web designer or an interior designer, let's say you're a graphic designer, and you've got to hand this off to an interior designer who's going to be creating what the inside of the store looks like, or you're going to hand them off to a print house where they're going to be making buttons or magnets or things like that, or someone's going to be printing out kind of stickers or whatever, or labels. They have to know the exact colors that your company is, and so that's what you'll see. You'll see things like this. So we're going to learn how to make these swatches in both Photoshop and Illustrator. So before we do that, I also want to talk about something called Adobe Color. So when you're picking your colors for your company that you're working with, let's say you have a client that doesn't have any colors, you can use a tool like Adobe Color. This is a free part of the Adobe Creative Cloud. The address is color.adobe.com. And if you're signed into an Adobe account, you actually can access these color swatches. Look, you can see that I'm signed into my account here, and I can save color swatches, and they'd actually show up in Photoshop and Illustrator for me. So this is really an exciting possibility, but we're going to use them a little differently today. So we're just going to use them right off the web. So what's cool about Adobe Color is you can kind of explore other people's color swatches based off of things that you may be interested in, or based off of photos or whatnot. So that kind of happens in here. So you can kind of look for themes that are going on. So pretty nice. So there's trends in here as well. And they'll be in like different areas. So here's trends for fashion, trends for graphic design, illustration, right? You get the idea here. So color trends. I like to go to the explore area, and I can go in here and say food, because let's say I'm making a restaurant and I just want to keep it general and say food. Now I'm getting a lot of swatches that have been made by other artists, other designers, but might be of interest to you when you're creating your colors for your company as part of your project for our class. If you were working with a client, they probably already have existing colors. So maybe you're looking for extra colors that maybe they only have one or two colors, and you might be looking for other colors for design. So I'm going to pick, let's say, this color library right here. And what's cool, when I click on it, it gives me the actual number sequence. This is a hexadecimal number sequence. I'm going to need that I'm going to need this color sequence for Photoshop and Illustrator. You can also add this to your library. Again, you can say, oh, I'd like to add that to my library that is going to go into the cloud, and I would have access to it in Photoshop. You can also download these things. So you can download this right here, and then it becomes an Adobe swatch. So that's pretty cool too. So I'm just going to keep this kind of here, and then I'm going to open up Photoshop. So let's go to Photoshop, and I'm going to, this is part of your project if you're in my class. So I'm going to open up just a very simple, this is something you're going to turn in. So this could go with your logo, but it's up to you. I'm going to have a 5x5 inch document at 200 resolution with a white background. Click create. And I may, put a title up here. If I had the name of my company, I'd put it up on top. But I'm going to say, I'm just going to say for now, my last name. You'd want to put your company name, and maybe use a font that you're using for your company. So you might want to include that here as well. So I'm going to go American Typewriter, And oh, stage swatched. I'm gonna go stage swatches. There we go. Now I'm gonna create my swatches using a couple different techniques. One technique is I could go up here to the rectangle marquee tool, click on that, and I could make my, kind of just, draw a box, let's say, and then fill it. So I'd want to make a new layer, right? And then I can fill this box with a color. So if I go to edit, fill, right? And it gives me this possibility right here. Well, I'm going to say color. This is one way to do this. Now, here we get our color picker, and you'll see I get hue, saturation, brightness, RGB, but right down here, and CMYK over here, but right down here is the colors that I'm looking for. These are the hexadecimal. So let me go back over here and copy this pink color from Adobe Color, and then go back here and paste that, right? Command V on a Mac or Control V on a PC and click OK. And now I can fill that color. So there's that. So then Command D, deselect, and I go to my Move tool and I've got the swatch. I'm not done though, because I still need that, I still need to add the actual hexadecimal numerical system here as text. So I'm going to go to my text tool. If I click on this right above it, it's fine, right? And then Command V, and then that was the last one that I had. It's still in my clipboard, so it copied in there, and I can change the color of this if I want. I probably could have them all white or dark, just depends on what my color is. Just want to be able to see them. So that's one way of making a swatch in Photoshop. Is it the best way? Well, it could be. Here's a way how I'd make a second one of these. I would take both of these two and hold down Shift. So I'm on my layers panel. I've got both of these two. Hold Shift down, duplicate them. Right. So I've got a copy. Take that duplication and drag it. I kind of need. Did I get both of them here? Yes. Got that one. Where'd it go? Let me drag somewhere. Where it went. So there's an issue. Let's see. So that's that one. Here's my copy there. Oh, I didn't copy my stage swatches. Don't need that. What am I doing? Okay. So I've got this here. I can leave that up there. I don't know what I was doing with that. Now I want to change the color of this. So to do that, I can hold down. Now I want to probably put this closer, and then my text is down here. Put this up here. So I'm using my smart guides to line everything up. If you don't have smart guides on, you can go to View, Show, Smart Guides. That makes that easier, and that'll line these up. So you might have 3, 4, 5 colors on your project. So now I want to change the color of this. So I'm going to Command or Control click right on my layer. It's going to select this. See how it's selecting? Now I can go to Edit, Fill, and go back to Color. I can't just click OK. I got to go to Color. So the color picker comes up. I'll go back here, copy one of my colors. I'm going to copy this blue, back to Photoshop, highlight this hexadecimal area, Command or Control V, and click OK, and click OK. Now I want to change the text, and same thing, Command or Control V, paste, and so now I've got it there. So now I've got 2 swatches. Great. There's another way to make the swatch in Photoshop. Let's do that one. Command D, deselect. So I'm going to go down here to my 3 dots down here. Because you probably aren't going to see your rectangle tool in your toolbar. You can edit your toolbar and kind of make sure that all of the tools are up in the top by restoring defaults up here. And it'll take everything into the toolbar, right? And so now you've got the defaults. So, and you can also view your toolbar as a single or a double line. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to my rectangle tool, or you can use any one of these other shapes. You can make your own shapes. I'm going to go to the rectangle tool. I'm going to make sure that this says shape right here. So right up here on the top of options bar, I'm going to make sure it says shape. Here I'm going to say no stroke, and fill is going to be my first color. So we'll wait on that because we don't know what our fill is quite yet. So I'm just going to put black in for now. Let's just say we didn't know our third color. So I'm gonna make a shape, right? I'll make this a little skinnier this time. Great. Now you'll notice that the properties panel is right here. If you don't have your properties panel open, you go to Window, Properties, and open that up. I got my properties panel right here, and I can double click right there, or click there and double click right there and get my color panel here. And then I can go over here and copy my yellow and put it right here. Control Command V and paste, and then do my text. Now I don't want to reinvent the wheel here, so I'm going to take this text right here and copy it. So Command C, Command V, paste that down here. Now it's got to be on a layer above this, right? So let me go back to my layers, because that was below it, needs to be above it. And now I want that. So Command or Control V, and did I paste that? No, didn't get it. Let me go back here. Oh, that's right, I didn't copy that number there. So that's the only thing that the problem with doing this is when you copy this, you got to make sure that you have your rectangle color open. So let me go back to the properties panel, click that open, right? And click this, and here it is right here. So it's a little trickier this way, but it works. So I kind of got ahead of myself. Let me Control V, paste. I'll do it one more time as well. You don't have to have the number sign there, but it's nice if you do. Most designers will know what that number is with or without the hashtag. Okay, let's do that one more time just so we kind of get the idea of it. So I'm going to do that from scratch again. So I'm going to pull this over here. Oops. I'm going to pull this just a little bit bigger here. Make sure my toolbar is nested over here on the side. Okay, so what I'm going to do one more time, I'm going to go to my toolbar and I'm going to go find my rectangle tool. Okay, I'm just letting it fill with the last color. So I'm going to, click and drag. If you want them to be exactly the same, maybe you just copy that layer just like I was doing before. You make a copy of it so they're exactly the same. But I just want to show you how to do this again. And what's cool about doing it this way is I can change this after the fact. Watch this. I can click on this and change it to edit it after the fact, which you can't do with these very easily. You can, I guess, with the transform tool, but with this, it allows you to go and edit them with your arrow tools. So you can go and edit and change things. So here I am. I've got this. I can bring this color picker up. So let me go over here and copy this one. Bring it over here, paste it. Now I want to highlight that, Command C. Okay, so I want that in my clipboard, that number. There it is. And now when I go to my text tool, and I could just do a new text right here, and go to my text tool and Command V, paste. Now I've got that there. So hit the check mark, get my move tool, and I can move this wherever I want it. So that's how we would do it in Photoshop. And again, you can go and alter and change these things. So to do that, you get your direct select tool and click each individual thing, and I can change this like this. I'll turn it to a live shape, but then at least I can go and alter this and change it if I need to, right? So that's how I can go in and modify my swatch after the fact. You can't really do that with these up here because they were just color fills of a selection. So if you want to get funky with your shapes and kind of do some cool shapes, you totally can. You can make them all different if you want. I don't care how you design them, but do them however you want. It's kind of fun. Okay, so let's do this in Illustrator now. Same idea. So now I'm going to open up Illustrator, bring that over. I'm going to open up a basic document here. So I'll just go create new. I'm going to go print size, and I'm going to go to, if you do it in here, you can go letter size. That's fine. Just kind of do that. Open that up. And so now what I'm going to do is, I've got this all a mess here. Let me kind of clean this up. All right, so same thing. I'm going to go over to my toolbar. I'm going to pick the rectangle tool. This is much easier in Illustrator. I'm going to pick the rectangle tool. It's got a stroke on it. I'll get rid of that in a second. It's got a white fill on it. It looks like nothing's on there. It's got a white fill on it. I'll get rid of that in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the color guide over here. You can see I've got a color guide, and of course, if I click here, I can switch colors and whatnot. So watch what I do here for this fill. So you'll see that right up here, I've got these 3 little arrows, and I can go to, I've got this possibility here. So here's web safe, right? Here's the web safe. You want to be in web safe to do this because there's the hexadecimal. So there's 3 little bars right here. We're going to switch from RGB or CMYK to web safe RGB. And that's to get us to this hexadecimal number. I'm going to go back to Adobe Color, copy that color, go to Illustrator, click right here, Control or Command, and hit return. Oh, that was the stroke, so I got to be on the fill. Let me switch that. So I just have to switch the right here, this little arrow. I could do it right there too, and switch it, and I can take the stroke off. Okay, so I could say no stroke on this. All right, so I've got that one done. Now what I do is once I do one of these, I just make a copy. Oh, I need text on here too. So let me go to the text tool, the type tool. Now I want to make sure that I'm clicked off of this path when I go to the type tool, and then I'll click inside it, and then now I can Command V paste, and then that should be the number. Oh no, this is the number. No, let's see. I think that was the number. Let's see, was it? Yeah, that's a number. Yeah, and then I can just expand this. So once I get this number in here, I can go highlight it, and up on the options bar up top, make this bigger, change the color of it. So this can be white or black or whatever color you want. You can change the font too. So there's that. Now, I want to make this easier on myself, so let's take a look at my layer here. So I've got my layer here. I've got these 2 objects inside Illustrator. One's a path, one's text. I want to click both of these. I'm going to hold Shift down. Notice both the circles are selected. Now I'm going to hold Option down on my keyboard. This will be Alt if you're on a PC. I'm going to drag, and I'm going to make a couple swatches. Just going to drag these out. I'll make a couple of them. Line them up. Now I can go through here and change the colors. So I'll go to this one. I'll have my color guide open. So let me move my layers over here. I'll have my color guide open here. And really, really easy to kind of go through this quick. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Illustrator, highlight this, Command V, and then hit return. And that's good there. And then I go to this text and Command V, and there we go. Now I'll go to this one. I'm going to go to my arrow tool to select this next path shape and go back to Adobe Color. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to copy. Which one? I'll do this one. And I'm going to copy that one and go back to Adobe Color, or go back to Illustrator. And with my color panel open, Command V paste, hit return on your keyboard, then click the type and Command or Control V there. Got that one there. I think you're getting the hang of this. And then I'll go back down to Chrome and get the last one, copy that, go up here. Oops, wrong app. Go here, and did I already get that color? I already took that color. Oh no, this is the tan color. So I can do them in any order I want. I can go here, over to my color swatch, hit return. Oh, I wasn't clicked on anything. Notice I was clicked on the text. That's fine, I guess, but then I won't see anything. So I don't want to be clicked on that text and do that. So I want to go back to that text and turn that black. I accidentally screwed that up, so that's going to be black here, so I can just color pick that. Or white, but black will probably show up better for the lighter color. And then put your name on it, you know, put your last name on it, put your company name on it if, you know, throw your logo in there if you want. That'd be really great. Okay, so that is how we create swatches in Photoshop and Illustrator, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.